Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to today's Money Chat Now interview. In this portion of the show, I take the opportunity to interview interesting people and introduce you to their products, their services, or just their good intentions. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on my show, you can go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest, and let us know why you want to be interviewed. All right, let me tell you a little bit about today's guest. My guest today is the best-selling author of the books Broke to $250,000 and Real Estate Alchemist Get the Deal. He is the host of the Alchemist Nation podcast and has surrounded himself with over 100 millionaires, each of which has committed to building another 100 millionaires. Together, they have created a step-by-step copy and paste system that literally anyone can use to create wealth. He claims that these are powerful investing and business strategies that can help any investor at any level find ideal people to partner with and draw them to you like magic. He happens to call the network Alchemist Nation. Let me introduce you to my friend, Gualtar Amarelo. What is going on, Gualtar?
Larry, it's good to be here finally, brother.
How's everything going on your end? I'm so excited that you're actually finally on. So I have to say one thing that's really interesting about your name, right? So yours is the only name that both your last name and your first name doesn't show on spell check. In other words, it says that both names are spelled wrong. Usually you get that last name, maybe a first name, but both. So how does somebody spell Gualtar? How did your parents even know to use the name Gualtar if nobody even knows how to spell it?
So here's the challenge with it. It is Portuguese. So they don't have a W in the Portuguese language. So they had to come up with a way to make that W sound. Putting a G and a U together kind of did that, sort of. Clearly not as efficiently as we would like, but here we are. So
your name is
and
Walter?
Amarelo actually stands for yellow.
Your name is Walter?
It's Walter with a G.
Walter with a G. That's kind of cool. And Amarillo is yellow, that I get, right?
Yellow in Portuguese, yep.
Yeah, but that's also yellow. Isn't it also yellow in Spanish or no? I don't remember.
Amarelo,
Yeah, something like
Still
that.
yellow.
Okay.
The same color as gold. We know the color of gold. We know
I
Amarelo.
like it. I like it. I like how you put that. That makes total sense. All right, so you're like this amazing guy, right? So I started tuning into you a while back. Gordon, our friend, introduced me to you, and I couldn't figure out what to make of you. And the more and more I watch you, the more and more impressed I get. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm actually very impressed with you at this point. I find what you're doing is absolutely amazing. But tell me what it is that you actually do, because actually tell my audience what you do. I know some of the things you do, but I don't know all of them.
Yeah, so there's too much to list. So when you own a lot of things, I think the simplest thing to do is just say what the intention behind all those things is. So we build millionaires. That's our goal, and that's where every company we've acquired or built or partnered with is subsidiary to that initial goal. We started as real estate investors, but now we seem to be tech entrepreneurs who build millionaires. We run events, right? We own these tech companies, and that just was not where we initially wanted to go. We just wanted to get rich and then help people get rich. That was kind of the original purpose behind everything. Help good people make good money was our initial USP. And now it's just Alchemist Nation, Alchemist Connect, software platforms, Alchemist Financial, lending platform. Then the coaching company, all of these things are designed around Alchemist Nation brings great coaches like yourself to people who want to become millionaires. We never thought we'd be in that space.
So you started. It's funny because you started out broke like I did, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
So, not cool that you started out broke, and it's not great to be broke, but it's kind of cool that you launched yourself into something really big. But so let's go back to whenever, I don't even know what year that was, that bad things happened. Was it the 2008, 2009 area, or was it later?
Yeah. So 2008, I bought my first house. Right. 2008, I bought my first house. I thought at the bottom of the market, but turned out there was still some juice left to the drop. So I bought my house, and then I just kept watching the value go down. Literally, I thought it was going down, and I thought I bought the bottom, and then it just kept false
totally
bottom kept going. I caught what they say, the falling knife, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But that wasn't really the bottom of my life. My bottom actually hit in 2015.
Wow.
I went through a divorce. I owned 2 pieces of real estate at that point, and during the divorce, I lost everything else except for the real estate. She let me keep the real estate, but she took my dignity, my pride, my manhood, and all of my cash, all my liquid assets ended up getting cleaned out in that divorce. So it was not an easy time.
All right,
It
I got
was
to
it
ask
was
you a
probably the
question. Like,
worst time of my life.
how can anybody
Yeah.
divorce that cute face?
Exactly. This was before I shaved my head.
Oh, is
So
that what it is? Okay.
this is back when I was balding before. But
Okay.
now I'm bald. It's a very big difference.
So it's funny. If somebody actually drew a caricature of you, it would look exactly like you.
If somebody drew a caricature of me or Andrew Tate or Mr. Clean
Yeah,
or
yeah. There you go. Yeah, right.
Johnny Sins, like
Yeah.
we all look the same.
All right. So it's I don't know whatever because it's 2017ish now, and you're trying to rebuild, right? So now, what did you do to
Yeah.
rebuild?
So I did what any entrepreneur would do. I went back to the books and I sold everything that I had to make sure that I could survive. And then I took out credit cards. I just slammed credit cards.
Sure.
I was just like, next thing, because I was like, I believe in the dream. I believe in what I'm doing
Great.
here. I'm going to keep going. And I didn't buy any real estate for a year. But in the year right after the divorce, I pulled it all together. I went to a success event called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I made
T. Harv Eker,
17,000
yeah.
that year. And T. Harv, yep.
Yeah,
And I said,
great.
I'm going to make 100,000. I've got to go do it.
Great.
And right out of the gate, made like no money for the next 3 months, and got my real estate license. And then I started like really figuring out real estate, and I sold a flip. I made 50,000 on it, and by the end of the year, I made $115,000.
That's
like,
awesome, man.
But out of the gate, it did not look good.
So take a step back. How much were you making before you went broke and lost your wife?
So I'd been a $40,000 person for my entire life.
Okay.
Like from like the point that I was 20, maybe 19, I was $40,000 from 19 till 25.
So she divorces you, you come out of your shell, and you become this amazing, amazing coach, amazing real estate investor, right? Have you called her and thanked her?
She called me back to court.
Really?
She called me back to court. I still had a house with her name on it. And I was like, hey, thank you. She did not take that well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I love it. That's
I was like, a lot of stuff's worked out for me. She's like, yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, so what I mean, did you thank her for divorcing you because that's what set you going, which is I'm teasing you, but that it does sound like that's awesome. All right, so then you buy a couple more houses, so what is like this Alchemist Nation thing, it is. I have to tell you, I am very impressed by it because obviously we're in the same space, and yours is slightly different than mine, of course. Everybody's doing something different, but you have this Alchemist Nation, which you're talking to people, you're trying to help them become millionaires. Obviously, that's my favorite thing to do is help people become millionaires as well, and that's how we got connected. But at the same time, so tell me about Alchemist Nation and tell me about what it is and how, and people maybe they could join it, whatever.
So Alchemist Nation came from, I realized I couldn't teach everybody by myself. I was like, not everybody's going to want the white, bald, young guy teaching them how to do real estate. And maybe real estate's not the only play, right? Like maybe they need to learn options or stocks or to buy businesses or build businesses. So I was like, okay, like let my ego go aside. How am I going to find these great mentors and coaches and speakers and authors and put them all in one place? Like it'd be cool if I could just put them all in one place and then a person could come in and just follow their path. Just be like, wow, like this is Larry Steinhouse. He does investor school. This is what I want. Or this is the guy who did mobile home parks. Maybe that's my niche. I got to go into that. And like Bigger Pockets has like, you'll hear like information, but then there's no course. They hate courses. Right. Bigger Pockets is all dead set against courses. The only thing they do support is like authors who are dead, right? If you wrote a book and you're dead, they're like, hey, this guy wrote this book, Except for Grant Cardone, they give him he's doing okay. But I love Bigger Pockets, how we got farmed. There was a gap missing, and so Alchemist Nation was that way where we could just be like, okay, if I reach out to a millionaire and I say like, you're a millionaire, would you donate a course? And a millionaire donates a course. Well, now I've got one more course from a millionaire who's teaching how to become a millionaire. Because like broke people all want to write courses, but broke people don't know how to become millionaires. Like they got all sorts of subconscious programming that's actually hurting their students. So I have something against that. I know you have something against that. Absolutely. So it just became reach out to millionaires, ask them to donate a course, and now we've got over 35 courses donated by millionaires. It's 35 millionaires. So the goal is 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires, and we'll just keep going. But that's kind of how we got started. And we have tech backgrounds, so we partnered with another development company. We just said like, how can we make this work? And then months and months of development, and we launched in December of last year. And right now we're at 1,500 users. But we started like month one, we're like, does anybody gonna want to do this? Month one, we put on like 60 people, and we're like, that's cool. Like exciting, 60 people out of nowhere is our community. And then our community started bringing people in. And then month two, there was 300 people on the platform. We're like, what the hell is happening? How is 300 people out of nowhere?
That's great.
Then month three was 500, and then like it started tapering off, 100 people at a time. And now we put on about 100 people a month, and it's just like, we're not advertising. We're not putting it out there. It just literally is our community says, hey, come bring this person in. Then free courses, right? Free courses. You don't pay to be on the platform.
Right.
The courses are free, and you can literally message the coach. The person who created the course, you can message them right there on the platform. So it's like, unlike anything else where you can buy their course, but then you have no access to the coach. You got email them, and you're emailing their team. Whereas on Alchemist Nation, you can literally send a direct message. It goes in their inbox, just like on Facebook. But it's the coach, it's the mentor, it's the speaker.
Sure.
So, totally different way of doing things.
Yeah, I know. You had asked me to come on. Maybe it was like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, whatever it was. I immediately donated a course. I donated my favorite course, which is Subject 2, and I've had some good response from it. People, they're reaching out. They're saying, hey, I have a question on this, I have a question on that, or they're going, oh, this is great. First of all, everybody should know that my course on Subject 2 is the best one out there ever. And if you ever want to know what Subject 2 is, it's taking over mortgages, not taking over mortgages, taking over mortgage payments. But when you watch the video, you fully understand it when it's done, where most people go, you just take over the payment, and they don't tell you how or why or possibly why, or why it's legal and how it works. I actually explain how it works. But this isn't about me. This is about you, Gualtar. Was I done? Am I off my soapbox now?
No, you're literally, you're doing exactly what I would be doing about that course, right? Subject 2 right now is the strategy that's going to be popping
absolutely.
for the next 2 years, 3 years as interest rates keep going up. So Alchemist Nation has that course, right? Like that's. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I was so happy to do it. I really appreciate it. I actually appreciate you, man. It's actually pretty cool. And now you're doing a thing every Saturday, correct? You do a.
Yeah.
You do. I mean, you're on Zoom every Saturday for like 3 hours, right?
So it's only 30 minutes, but it turns into an hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. The Q&A session, man. Like I'll be like, hey, here's the information, go take action. And they're like, okay, but if I was to take action, what would that look like?
Right. So,
yeah.
The problem is a lot of times I can't get on it. Like this Saturday, or coming up Saturday, I'm on the radio at 10 o'clock, and that's when your webinar is. So I just can't be on it. But I like being on it because I think the questions are fascinating. I think some of the coaches you have are fascinating. I think you're fascinating. And then how could you not want to look at that face, right? All you see is I don't even know. It's just, again, it's Mr. Clean. You're absolutely right. You should come on one day with a mop and show everybody how it fits.
Yeah, squeaky clean.
Squeaky
that's why I gotta hit the gym, man. Imagine if I was a skinny, like bald guy walking around, they would dismiss me. But you hit the gym, and people are like, it might be Mr. Clean.
Well, you can always just eat a lot of carbs. You don't have to hit the gym. You could look like the original Mr. Clean. If you remember the original Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean was fat. He wasn't built. I don't know if you might be too young to know.
No way.
That. Yeah, you might be too young.
Yeah. I got the edited version. They upgraded him over time.
They definitely did. I'll tell you what, hold on, Gualtar. We're going to take a quick commercial, and we're going to be back in a minute, back with Gualtar Amarelo, who is awesome, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and one of the most misunderstood things in America is money. That's why I've written this book. It's called Money Hacks, because everything you think you know about money is wrong. And I'm telling you, everything you think you know about money is wrong. When you read this book, you will learn things about money that you did not know. You will even learn if money can buy you happiness. I have a full chapter dedicated to that. You're going to definitely want to read that. I talk about how to use other people's money to buy real estate. I talk about how to save more money, and I even talk about how to rebuild your credit score in this book. There are 22 amazing chapters in this book. This book is now available everywhere. It's available on Amazon. It's available on barnesandnoble.com. And you can order this book right now, and you'll have it in 2 days, and you'll start learning things about money that you never knew before. So order the book right now. Go to Amazon, go to barnesandnoble.com, and order the book, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. back to Money Chat Now, the interview portion. We are currently interviewing Gualtar Amarelo. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on this show, please go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest, and tell me why I should interview you, and I'll bet I can make that happen. All right, let's get back to Gualtar. I got some more questions for you, Gualtar. So here's a question for you. All right, so you're sitting there, you're got all these tech guys, you got all this stuff, and how do you actually, you claim to say that you're going to build millionaires? How do you actually do that?
So in the beginning, it was actually very manual. It was like super manual. It was I have to sit down with a person, ask them a bunch of questions, pull out like emotional stuff. Actually, it was weird. I didn't know there was emotional stuff involved in millionaire stuff.
Oh, yeah. As a coach, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I thought you just give them a strategy and they go off and be successful, right? I'm like, hey, go do these things. Right. So I chose the mentor path because a mentor tells you what to do. You come back, hey, I did some stuff. What's next? And a coach, is like, okay, come on, let's go. You got this. Put your foot here. Run this way. Say this thing. And I thought that would be like the easier solution. And it turned out that you still need coaches, right? You still need coaches to handle the emotional stuff that comes up in the baggage that stops people. So we started adding these components of coaches and emotional intelligence. And but for us as a tech company, we're always looking at automate the millionaire building process. It's not just we build millionaires. It's how do we automate the millionaire building process? And so one of our latest pieces of tech is called Your Millionaire Path. And the way Your Millionaire Path is set up is it involves some AI that me and my business partner actually personally coded. And what it does is when somebody gives us, I say, I can tell you a millionaire path within 6 questions. And that's like the premise of it. And so I just took what that looks like and we put it into a code and it puts out a report. And that report's not currently 2 pages, but once we finish it up, because we're still in beta, but once we finish it up, the page it should be closer to 2, 3, 4 pages of actual tactical actions. So that's one of the ways we do it. But what we've been doing since, until we can get this whole AI built out, is we use actual physical coaches and a map of, okay, this is what you've got for experience. This is where your net worth is. This is your current income. This is what you want. Because we asked them 3 outcomes. Do you want to be financially free? Do you want to double your net worth? Do you want to become a millionaire? Or do you want to increase your income? Do you want to become a millionaire? Or do you want to be financially free? Because those are 3 very different paths. And everybody comes to us with I want all 3 of these. Well, I don't know, can I swear on the show? But I'm just what are you doing?
Right. Well, so it's funny because I do the same thing in my coaching all the time. I ask people, do you want to be financially free? And the funny part is I prove to everyone who says they want to be financially free that they are already financially free. So they now need to understand what financially free is and what it means to them and what it really will become. But yeah, I mean, to go into that, it could that could take a half an hour for me to explain that. But I totally get it. It's amazing how people and the biggest problem they have, is you probably already know, is that they don't know what they want. Once they figure out what they want, it's easy to get what you want. I just want more money. So it's funny because in my class, I'll have people go, what do you want? I want more money. I literally go into my wallet, I pull out $1, I hand it, I put it in front of them, and I go, okay, now you have more money. And they go, that's not what I meant. That's what you said. And then they start right then it starts to change how they were thinking. Very cool, man. So all right, so. Now, it's kind of weird because I'm talking to you and I already know the answers, but I want the audience to know. So, somebody comes to you and they're part of Alchemist Nation. They start watching videos, they start talking to you, and the next thing you know, they say, "Hey, listen, I want to become a millionaire." And what should be their expectations? Should they be a millionaire in a week, or should they be a millionaire in 100 years?
Perfect. I love this. So part of Your Millionaire Path actually has that question, right? How fast do you want to be a millionaire?
That's cool.
1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. We have a 20-year option on there. Nobody's clicked it yet. Thank God.
That's very funny.
But people have clicked the 10-year option. And I'm just I'm thinking, why are we waiting this long to become a millionaire? Now, a handful of people I do know who've done it in 1 year. And those are the people I'll talk about all the time. When I speak on stage, I'm like, hey, here's the unicorn who did it in 1 year. But truthfully, it takes 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
2 to 3 years if you're really aggressive and you're paying attention, you get all this stuff cleaned up quickly and you got the right coaches, you're going to events, all those things. But it takes 3 to 5 years, and we recognized at some point that we needed live events as a component. As much of an introvert as I am, I realized live events are how I got to where I am. And so we still incorporate those to speed up the process, because there's a lot of, like, you're just going to meet people, you're going to meet mentors, you're going to meet coaches, you're going to get really valuable knowledge. In fact, 3-day live events are my favorite, personal favorite. I'm at one right now. I'm literally at ClickFunnels. I've traveled to be here at a 3-day live event, because it still works, because 80-20 of the 80-20 of the 80-20 is 1%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the 1%, there's 365 days in a year. If you spend 3 powerful days in a room full of your ideal avatar, learning the ideal thing and getting the mentors that are going to change your life, then those 3 days are the most powerful days of the year. The rest of the year, just do your thing. Just
so
like
your suggestion,
take action on
people
whatever
go to
you did
3-day
there.
events, whether they're yours or anyone else's.
I don't care what, as long as it's in your niche. It's like the thing you want to be successful at. Yeah.
Or it's something you want to learn. I agree. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree with you. 3-day events are great. We do them. We've done 3-day events here. We've done 2-day events here. We do 1-day events. So I know exactly what you mean, and we have a really good time with it. All right. So now, because it's funny, because you're going to manage expectations, right? So you take somebody who you're going to manage their expectations, and they're going to say, well, I want to be a millionaire in 5 years. Now, I'll tell you a funny story. So, like you, I lost everything, but I lost everything in 2008 and 2009. I went bankrupt. I tell the story all the time. It's in my book, Money Hacks.
You did it before me. You beat me.
Yeah, exactly, right. I became a millionaire again before you, too. I was a millionaire before that. But I remember, I think it was like 2015 or 16, I couldn't become a millionaire. Now, what I mean by that was my net worth would be 960. It would be 970. It would be 980, and then it would go back to 960, and then it would go back to 850. And it was frustrating the hell out of me for a long time. And then boom, I mean, like last year alone, I increased my net worth. I'm not talking about what my net worth was. I increased my net worth last year $1.2 million. So it's kind of funny how it changes, how quickly it changes. And one thing is, and again, you may agree, may not agree, but don't get hung up on it. You have goals, just keep going, my newest goal is to be a decamillionaire within the next 3 years. So that would be my goal. So, you need to have 100 millionaires, then you need to have, 50 decamillionaires. That's the second part of your program you need to do, okay?
Part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
Hey,
exactly.
I'm watching Russell. Russell's got these ClickFunnels awards, 2 Comma Club. I'm thinking we're going to do 2 Comma Club, and then we'll have to have that like decamillionaire.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly, right, exactly. So I'm waiting. So when you're doing that, I'll be doing that with you as well. All right. So what happens because this frustrates the hell out of me. So I want to know how you do it. So you get somebody they start to go through your program, and then a week later you get on a coaching call, whatever it may be. And, hey, did you watch the video? Hey, did you do the forum? Or did you talk to whoever you're supposed to talk to? And they go, no, I didn't get a chance to yet. When do you start feeling, oh man, this guy's wasting my time, he's wasting his time, and he's wasting whatever money he paid for coaching? When do you start to feel that way?
So I will have that conversation with every single person that I meet. Like at any point, if they don't watch or do something, my favorite sentence is results may vary then. Like as long as you're cool with having lessened results, that's fine with me too. Yeah, I just want to set the context. I want your success more than you want your success right now. Like I'm just being very clear. My coaching calls are not always nice. Like most of the time.
What? No.
Yeah.
I was about to say something that was interesting, because you and I have had this conversation before, that I'm nasty. I mean, Fred called me.
You're nasty on camera. I'm nasty.
I'm always nasty. And I wouldn't say nasty, but our mutual friend Fred called me the compassionate asshole, right? And that's exactly right. I want your success. I want your success more than anything, but I'm going to beat it into you if I have to. Right, but you, I always say that you're like the nicest guy on the planet. I see that guy, and you're like, oh, come here, and I'll give you a hug, and I'll make you a millionaire. Where I'm like, no, you ain't. Not only you're not getting a hug from me, but you're not allowed to have a hug from me until you are a millionaire. So that's the difference between
you never get a hug.
Yeah, you don't get that hug until you are a millionaire. So, but it's just funny how how you just said that you're not so nice on the phone. I'm actually surprised. You just surprised me. You see, I told you at the beginning of this. I said you impressed me. Now you're even impressing me more.
Well, you understand the strategy of sell them what they want, give them what they need, right? So I'll get more flies with honey. So I know that I'm a marketer, right? I want to bring these guys in. I want to show them it's possible. Hey, you can be a millionaire. You can be a millionaire. But once they're in, it's like, okay, like welcome to boot camp. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Here's how we do it.
There's no more roses for you. Now it's
no, No, it's
Yeah,
like, hey,
get to work.
here's Larry Steinhouse. He's gonna be gentle on you until you mess up.
Yeah, yeah. Can you imagine? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gentle. I'm not even gentle when they do things. No, that's not true. Sometimes I may, depending on what they're doing, I may say, hey, well, okay, so where's your next deal? Especially like the wholesalers. Exactly. Right? Teaching wholesalers, right? I got a deal. Great. I said, who do you have in the works now? What do you mean? I got to close this one first. I said, no, that's the biggest mistake you're made. The best thing for you to do is the second you got that one under contract, find 5 more people to talk to and get another one under contract. Eventually, you'll do what I was doing. So, yeah, I tell you a story just real quick. So, when I started teaching this stuff, right, I had never done wholesale deals in my entire life. I'm teaching wholesales, and I've never done a wholesale deal. Now, understand, the only reason I didn't do a wholesale deal is because I buy them and hold them. I don't want to wholesale them, right? So I'm thinking, I felt, and I'm selling this. I felt like I was a fraud. I mean, I'm teaching wholesaling, and how do I teach wholesaling if I've never done it before? So I decided to open up a wholesale business just to show that I can do it. First year in the business, I did $500,000 in wholesale fees. Second year in the business, I did $625,000 in wholesale fees, and then I gave it up.
But I did it. I did it.
I did it. I just wanted, this way I can say I've done it. I don't have to do it anymore. But I just said, okay. So we don't have much more time left. But tell me a little bit about you, about like people, how people can get a hold of you, how they can become part of Alchemist Nation. Go for it.
Yeah, so Alchemist Nation, go to alchemiststation.com. And if you want to talk to me, go to alchemiststation.com. Find me on there in the members section. Pretty easy to get a hold to there. Everywhere else, I'm on every social platform. I create content every day, but if you message me there, so does 100 other people. So Alchemist Nation is still a place where I can respond to questions, answers. That's the platform we're building. We're spending all the time on anyway. And that's also how you can find Larry Steinhouse, have a deeper conversation there, and learn more about investor schooling. But yeah, we're going to keep going with this, Larry. Like, build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Get more people like you who are out there, like, in the grind, like, doing it. Like, I love that you went and did a wholesaling business, because I felt the same way. I was like, man, I'm a fraud. Like, I'm teaching wholesaling because really I just want to buy more deals. Like, I want you to bring me more real estate. Like, that's why we're doing it. And I kind of was like shifting. I'd be like, look, guys, I've never wholesaled because I'm a buyer, but I am a hell of a marketer, right? And that's how I find all my off-market deals. So you do the things that I've done, and you'll be successful.
I got to cut you off, man. But you're the best, man. So alchemistnation.com, correct?
That's right.
All right, cool. All right, hold on 1 second. I'll be looking forward to talking to you, and I'm hoping everybody's enjoying this interview. But I am Larry Steinhouse, and welcome back again, or I should say, I hope you enjoyed the interview with Gualtar Amarelo. It's super fantastic. I had a good time interviewing him. And, of course, if you want to be on the show, just go to thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. That's thelarrysteinhouseshow.com/guest. Make it a profitable day.